This is the chance for us to get this thing kicked off. It happens to be a competition Wednesday for us, which means we're battling all day long to get you back to the basics and the fundamentals and getting focused on putting together a great week. That's what this thing is, and it's exciting to be here. Can't wait to see the day's work and see what happens on just this day, and then we just crank one day at a time and take it to the weekend and know that we're getting ready for a really good club, a really well-oiled machine. All phases of their game is good, so it's a championship matchup for us. We got to play championship football. Some of you guys might know, how important it is to compete. You might have a guy that's playing soccer or something, and representing the school. It could be anything. You could be anywhere. You could be in the freaking drum line somewhere, and competing. It doesn't matter where you go, but it's the same. It's bringing the very best you have to bring, no matter what's going on, every single day that you got. And this program's been built on that, and I'm hoping that you'll see that again by the way we put it together. Sometimes it takes some time. I don't know. I don't know the answer to when that happens and all, but I do know how we're going about it. And it happens to be Indy, and they're a fine club, and it's a great championship matchup for us. Okay.
Thank you for that. Are you more curious now about your offense, maybe because you didn't see it at all in the preseason?
Well, no, I would say, yeah, I'm curious about the whole thing. The offense too. I'm curious about how it all fits together, because you start all over and you create a whole new life about this team. So, but there's certainly, I'm anxious to see our guys go and excited because we got guys at all the right spots that we love. And we're really looking forward to them pulling off the game plan. And really on both sides of the ball, it's like that. So, but maybe a little special for offense because it's brand new.
Judging from a talent perspective, Pete, what's the biggest difference to you from this offense on September 8th than the one on January 9th?
You talking last January 9th? Yeah, okay. Well, across the board, I feel like we've solidified guys in spots that we have a real good feel for their uniqueness and what they're bringing to it. Whether it's the obvious one is Gerald. What we brought in with him. And seeing Gabe come to work for us and how he's going to add to it. See what Eskridge can do. As he adds to it. I mean, we had a real picture for what he could be, and he's really given us no reason to think otherwise. He's practiced and prepared really well. So there's those are the special elements that are uniquely different, But what's maybe most special about it is, and I'm hoping it shows, is the relationship between Shane and Russ. What they've been able to do together and to get to this point, and the excitement they both feel, to turn out this offense and maximize, all of the strengths of it and all that. And as we learn and as we grow, we'll find out, how far along we are. But that's something I'm really excited about because it's been really obvious that there's something going on there. It's good chemistry.
What have you seen from Russ? I mean, obviously he comes in motivated and driven every year, but just anything different or?
I think the relationship with what we're doing and how attuned he is to that just generates maybe another level of excitement from him. For what he's hoping to put out there and through his work, and the potential that he can feel by the way we're interacting and communicating and stuff that can lead us to some really cool stuff and really help our guys maximize what they bring too. So he's got a little special juice about him, and I think that's probably what I'm mentioning about the chemistry between he and the coordinator.
Flus cut his teeth with the cover 2 scheme, but it seems like there's been more multiplicity from their defense, especially last year. How have you seen them evolve defensively?
Well, they're really good right now, and coming off of last year, and they've added a couple elements too. They're really good up front. They're really, really consistent with their run front. That's why they're one of the best run defenses in the NFL. Because of their consistency in the way they play base defense. That's a commitment that he's had for a long time. They're mixing their coverages nicely in the things that they do, but they're really going to try to out-execute you. And they've got bodies in all the right spots that can run and hit and play with the kind of juice that you need to play really good defense. And so they're situated very well.
Given the fact that Rivers ran their offense last year, how much more difficult might it be to prepare for having Carson come in there if he's even playing?
Well, to me, Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Fame he's a genius playing this game of football, and so no matter what team he would step into, he would influence people to realize that, and we've seen him enough over the years. I know him a little bit and know how he works and what's important to him about how he attacks the game and approach it. He's a special football player. I think the thing we're looking at is the relationship that Frank and Carson had when they were together, and that world-class season they put together was obvious. And so I'm sure that's how they're looking towards the future, and that's how I'm looking towards it, because I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be that way, and they've got an offensive line. They've got nice, terrific running backs, nice receiver crew. Tight ends can play and do special stuff. He's got everything he needs, and he's got a coach that obviously communicates great with him. So I would think that, and there's different dimensions from what Phillip can do, and of course what Carson can do too. They're different, and there's some really special aspects of what Carson's always been able to do. The power that he has, the ability to escape, his ability to run with the football, terrific, dynamics of his arm and all that. So I'm sure that they're thrilled, and I think you can even see it when you see the little clips of Carson running around. He's just bouncing everywhere. He's so freaking jacked up to get out there and play, because he's missed some time and all. I think you can sense what their enthusiasm's like and what it might lead them to.
What stood out about the way Carson played in 2017 when Frank was his offensive coordinator?
They were hitting on all cylinders. He had an extraordinarily efficient year. Big numbers, touchdowns to picks. They were creative. Seemed to really play to his strengths, and had a great supporting cast around him to be a champion like that. But that's what they have again. And again, I can only kind of wonder about the energy that they have about going forward. I think they're pretty excited about it.
That running back duo they have, Jonathan Taylor kind of leading the way. Just what kind of challenge is that for them?
Both those guys, they're just an explosive play waiting to happen. And with the speed that they have, sometimes guys run really good times and you don't notice it. You notice it with these two guys. Both these guys have rocket acceleration, and they're both strong enough to break tackles and make the most of a play that isn't necessarily a good play. I think, I'm not sure about this, you guys verify this one, but I think Jonathan's got like 600-something yards after contact last season. That's crazy numbers. That's half of his rushing yards was after he was hit, and had a chance to get tackled, and he didn't let it happen. So those are fantastic players.
Like positive plays or pass breakups and stuff like that. Did Trey Flowers chart better this training camp than he had in
Yes. Every number that he had was at the highest end he's ever been. So it's the best he's played and most consistent, and he really has kind of recaptured his aggressiveness that he had a couple years ago that was really special about him, and just waned somewhat, but he's gone right back to it, and I think it brings out the best in him.
Did you say why that waned at all?
No, I didn't ask him.
Why do you think it did?
I just think it's probably us expectation-wise. I would take that on myself because I know where it started, and maybe we got accustomed, that's just the way he is, and you get used to it, and it wasn't a good job of coaching in that regard. So we're back on the topic, and he's excelling.
And the cornerback you signed yesterday, what did you like about him?
Wow, he's a hitter. He's a hitter. Really aggressive, physical style of play was what I loved about what I saw, and he's got good size to him, but his willingness to really throw his body around and really give you everything he's got was jumped off the film at me. And I don't know what happened there. I don't care. But the style that he brings is something that I was excited about adding to the club and see what happens. It's going to be hard for those guys just showing up. He got here today, so it's going to be hard for those guys to have an impact right away. But we're going to push it, and we'll see what happens.
Trey Brown's knee was just sore. Did it get worse than you originally thought?
No, but it's good. He's had it before, and so it's a condition that we're just working through. We're going to try to get rid of it before we bring him back. Instead of he can play with it, he has, and we just want to see if we can heal him before we bring him back.
Nigel Warrior?
What's the question?
What's going on with IR?
Yeah, he's similar stuff. He's got some stuff he's got to work on physically. Yeah.
Pete, last year you guys' defense was kind of night and day from the first half of the season to the second. What do you need to see to know that you're starting the way you want to this time around?
Really, a couple basics would be the consistency, one, and elimination of explosive plays. You know, last year was a really unusual year. We were scoring so much early in games and we got ahead so far that we gave up just an extraordinary amount of yards in fourth quarters. And we give up 180 or 200 yards in the fourth quarter. Now your numbers look crazy, you know, and we didn't handle that situation well enough. I hope we get ahead again and we can have that same challenge, you know. But the season changed some, and we shifted with it and took advantage of it, and just got better as we went along. We were giving away easy stuff, you know. We giving away just catch and run stuff, and we weren't as sharp as we needed to be. And when the teams go into that mode and they're in a 2-minute situation for a quarter, they put up a lot of yards. You don't have to do a whole lot to do that. You just keep dinking the ball around and it works. So we have to be better in that situation. But we got to get rid of explosives and we got to be more consistent.
What will Jamal be able to do better in year 2 in the system versus year 1?
Everything. He's in better control of everything that we're asking him. We've expanded the things that we're asking him to do because we've had time to really work it out and get him ready for it. And he's playing in a position that a lot of the guys that I've coached over the years would give anything to be able to do the things he's doing. He's got a lot of really cool things that he does in the scheme, and he's going to be called on to excel at them, of course. But we're really counting on his instincts and his awareness and the savvy that he brings to fit in. He's ready to roll.
Has Bobby mentioned before that you didn't recruit him, like in high school?
Yes, he has. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he was about 190 then. You know, he was at the Trojans, and he was looking for full-size guys. I missed him. We screwed it up. Yeah.
Do you remember going to his high school at that time?
Yeah. Yeah. What was his name? No, I don't remember Omar. That might have been. That's a familiar name. I don't remember why we missed Bobby, but I know he was a little bit undersized, and I think he might even have come to our camps and we didn't see him at camps, which is really a mistake on our part. So you can't get them all, you know. Try to. Devin Hester was the guy that probably hit me the hardest about that when he wrote me a letter, and I don't know if I responded to it or not, but I never did respond the right way, and we missed him. He never let me forget it. That was all the way out in Florida, so.
How's Barquise Blair doing physically?
He's ready. He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
Darrell Taylor, how excited are you to kind of see him make his
debut? Yeah, we really are. We really are. He had, like I've told you, he had such a successful offseason with us, coming back to physical health and all of that. And then he took advantage of everything that we did with all of the work he put in. He's ready to go. So he'll be all in and around the game plan. We're excited to see him play.
Anything else? Thank you.